everyone, and welcome back to the sixth installment of the Nerdcast. I'm joined by more than just Steven today, but we're going to start with our introductions. Steven, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Steven. I like video games. I come here often. Thanks.
What is your favorite cocktail?
White Russian. I've never had a White Russian before, but keep going.
All right, who else is here?
I'm Jarrett. I've been on the podcast a couple times. Well, once. I finally, you guys would be so proud of me. Finally, this week, listened to all of the podcasts, and I did indeed text Dylan and saying I don't like Falco.
If I was to leave you on a deserted island, what would you want him to have with you?
Steven.
And who's the last person?
Hi, I'm a Patreon supporter. I paid at least $35 to be on this podcast.
And how much more money do you have in your bank account? And what is your social security number?
Actually, I don't have any money in my social security. My credit's gone. It's shot. It's completely gone.
What's your name?
Tyrone. No, I'm Josh.
Hey, Josh. So we have the original Nerdologist crew here today for a monumental episode, mainly focusing on Crash Bandicoot 4. I've played it. Steven's played it. Josh has played it.
Dylan has stolen my PS4, so I can't play it right now.
We'll get over it. But before we get into that, Steven has been streaming on Twitch. I know even before you were recording this podcast tonight, you were streaming Crash 4. How's that going?
I've only streamed. It's been like a couple of weeks, maybe. I streamed a demo whenever that came out. I just streamed I was just kind of like getting my feet wet in it. Today I went back and started doing the inverted levels, but yeah, it actually records pretty well. I think because the game runs at a steady 60 frames on a PS4 Pro. It actually came out pretty good.
I stolen PS4 whenever I'm playing it. It sounds like it's going to explode.
Yeah, no, the Pro sounds like that too. It's okay.
Yeah, no, it's
It's like, how are you enjoying Crash Bandicoot 4?
It's pretty good. No, it's actually leading up until getting the game, I was actually really excited because I was making sure I had enough financial responsibility in order to purchase it, and whenever I got it, I felt like a little kid again, actually like getting a video game, being truly excited for it and like ready to reading the box, looking at the inside, looking at the disc, and like being a kid again.
Oh, you bought a physical copy?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
How many copies did you buy, Steven?
I don't want to talk about 2.
Why?
And how many different copies are available, Steven?
2.
Okay.
What have you been playing? I had to get the demo.
That is true. You had to get the demo. I played the demo with you at your house the night that you downloaded it.
It was hard,
on the Xbox. Yeah, and especially where those levels are in the game. Yeah, they're like past the midway point of the game.
Yeah, they're past the halfway point. They literally gave you a demo.
Hey,
that's past the halfway point.
Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Sorry.
Okay, we're gonna keep on recording because we can't stop it.
I won't stop. This is a freight train.
But anyways, so what else have you guys been playing in general than Crash before we kind of jump into that real deep Crash talk?
Yeah, I think I played a little bit of Hades the other day. Zach and I have like linked Steam accounts, and I saw he bought it. That game's actually pretty sweet.
What? I haven't actually heard of that one.
What game? Sorry.
Hades.
Oh, okay. A couple of my friends play it. They like it.
Yeah, it's like a it's like a roguelike dungeon crawler. But like It's super cool. It has like RPG elements. You can like upgrade your weapons, get different weapons, go back in. But each time, because it's a roguelike, it's like completely different.
I honestly miss playing roguelikes. Like,
no, go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say like this is probably the best one I've played like to date. Like I like Dead Cells, but just having like the top down like dungeon crawler like point of view, it's really really helpful. And plus like the combat is like simplistic but like strategic at the same time, and plus like it's like analog, like it's not like 4-way directional like how some of them are. So like you can like whatever way you point your analog stick, it's like super accurate.
Did you ever go ahead? Sorry.
I was gonna say that sounds fun. I mean, what consoles are it on? Is it on?
Switch and PC.
Okay, so that is actually something that I could play.
Yes.
Have you played Rogue Legacy before?
I have not. No.
Okay, that's my all-time favorite roguelike. It's real basic. Like I think it's 16-bit, but it's real basic. Just like side scroller, like most roguelikes are. And it gets real like what is it? Like bullet hell sort of. So like it's really difficult doing the bosses and everything like that, but it's a really good roguelike that makes you want to keep on going back in and doing it over and over again. It's basically you're a medieval knight and you go inside the castle and you try to make it as far into the castle as possible without dying. And whenever you die, then everything from that character gets transferred over to the next generation of knight that goes in there. And so they get all their money and everything. But before you enter the castle, you have to give up all of your money again. So you use the money that you earned into the castle to then upgrade your completely randomized knight that you had before. And it's really entertaining and addictive, just trying to go back in, getting more money and coming back out and then doing all that over and over again.
And that's pretty much exactly like how Hades is set up. So like the whole point of the game is like you have to get through all the chambers in hell to like actually I think you're trying to get to like Olympus. Like you play as Hades' son. And he does
Hades Jr.
and like he does what's that?
I said Hades Jr.
But like he does everything to keep you in the underworld. And like the way you get like power-ups is the further you get in, the gods from Olympus actually give you their powers, and you can after you die, that actually comes back to like the hub world. And you can like buy weapons or put money into like the like how you said like the castle, but like you put money into the underworld and like it'll like manipulate it. But it's super cool because like whatever happens, like when you die, there's actually dialogue. Like you'll like run into people or like bosses and like have a talk with them or something. But anyway, like that actually affects the hub worlds. Like when you come back, there's like different people to talk to. And they're like super aware of what happens. I don't know, it's just really cool.
No, that sounds really cool.
Yeah, I've actually been playing a game that isn't Smash.
What?
I know. I've been playing Rivals of Aether.
I don't know what that is.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
wow. The joke, I guess, is lost here because Rivals of Aether is incredibly like Smash.
It's right over my head.
It's a 2D platform fighter. Very good game. I like it a lot.
Are you also going to get the Kirby Fighter game, Jarrett?
No, I'm not going to get the Kirby Fighter game. But I am ready for Steve.
I was gonna ask you about that.
How
stupid!
No,
how stupid!
Stop it!
I'll give it to him.
I actually think, and I originally was like, this is gonna be so dumb. Whatever. I think this is going to be amazing.
I'm not going to lie; it looks phenomenal. The way that they implemented all of his moves and everything like that, and kept it exactly how Minecraft is mind blowing. And the fact that it works so well.
I'm so excited for it because he can just like place blocks if your recovery doesn't have a hitbox, you could just be stopped by the blocks.
That's going to be real trolly.
It's going to be so trolly. I mean, well, thankfully I main somebody that has a hitbox in the recovery. But if I didn't, I would be so angry.
It's just the thought of saying I main.
Oh
So-
my god!
I mean,
No.
Steve.
Yeah.
You better watch it.
Like, I main Steve from Minecraft.
Who's your favorite Super Smash Bros. Character? Steve from Minecraft. And now it's almost as bad. I think I was texting you the day that they announced it. I'm like, it's almost as bad saying like, oh, we added Goku and Shrek and Superman and Minecraft Steve. Like they fit together.
No, they don't.
But you know what would have fit better? That like a Microsoft property that's been on Switch. Like, what about Ori?
Yeah.
Ori actually is in Rivals of Aether.
But Smash, Jarrett.
I know.
What do you think sells better, Jarrett? Smash or Rivals of Aether?
Rivals of Urethra.
Yeah.
Why not just put Conquer in it?
Exactly.
I feel like that's a good one. That could
You're
work.
right. You're right. That would work a lot.
Yeah. Well, they already got
Or Banjo and Tooie.
yeah, Banjo and Tooie. Yeah.
Tooie.
Who's Tooie? I don't know.
The second game of Jared is called Banjo.
I know.
Tooie.
That's what I'm.
You put in Fat Banjo from.
Hey Dylan, if I put a Fat Banjo
2 thumbs up for Fat Banjo, please.
And then Fat Banjo. If I put a
Give the bear a cheeseburger.
if I put a picture right now in general, can you put it in the YouTube version just for fun?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have to listen to this back anyway, so go ahead.
Okay.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
For those not listening on watching on YouTube,
let me describe it before you do it. Let me describe it. So it's Mario 64 in the first level, and I can't remember the name of the first level. But it's
Bomb on Battlefield. No, not
Okay,
Bomb on Battlefield. Is it?
Yeah,
it is Bob on Battlefield. It is whenever Mario's about to face off with the chain chomp, but the chain chomp, instead of having the spiky teeth like he usually does, it has like just full on like children's mouth. Like the teeth are all like sharp for some reason, and definitely needs braces.
Straight up, just hide that.
That's how you can tell it's a child's mouth.
Yep.
Or it could be a really poor adult's mouth too.
Yeah,
it could be like somebody like from like West Virginia's mouth. Let's insult West Virginia.
What are you talking about there, bud?
All right.
So, does anybody else want to get anything in before the Crash talk?
So back to back to what you were saying about like, oh, put Goku and put. Here's the thing.
Oh Jesus, you're on Smash Brothers.
Yes, I am still on Smash Bros. Here's the thing. A rule Sakurai has said is that they have to originate from a video game. So that's why Goku will be in there.
Goku is in Budokan.
Did you not hear the word originate in there?
Yeah, I didn't. I chose not to acknowledge it.
Okay, there you go. That's not my problem.
So, kind of jump into things. We'll kind of go down the order. Barrett has not played Crash Bandicoot 4, but he knows a little bit about it from what I've told him, what Steven has probably told him, from what he's seen online. Josh, you are about halfway through the game.
Yeah.
We're going to try to not spoil anything after the halfway point. I have completed the main story, and I'm working on the alternate timelines. And Steven has completed the main story. And have you done all the alternate timelines?
Yep.
Okay.
I do highly recommend the last level, which is probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do, like in a video game. There's an alternate timeline directly after you beat that for Cortex. And it makes it like 30 times harder. I recommend just beating the game and going back to it because it's not worth it.
Yeah,
It was.
That's what I did.
I died more times in that one than I did the actual level. So I would
Yeah,
just beat the game and go back to it.
Josh, just so you know, on my first try, I played until 5 a.m. last Saturday morning because I wanted to beat the game. I died 106 times on the last level.
Jesus. I've died probably a good, like, just on the normal levels, I probably died probably about a good, like, 60 times.
Yeah, they're not. It's not easy, and I guess that's probably a good place to start. Is
I think I took a picture. How many times did I die on that?
67 or something like that.
62.
Yeah, I guess a good place to start the conversation is, I mean, it got great reviews. It has an 8.5 for the most part on Metacritic, and it's been floating around 8.3 to 8.5. The biggest complaint is the difficulty.
No.
You don't think that's the biggest complaint?
I see why they say the difficulty, but you have to remember the people who are buying this game are already like lifelong fans of this game who have beaten 3, 2, and 1 over and over again, and they want something more complicated, and they already know how the controls handle from 3, so I can't see how the difficulty being too difficult. I understand like if someone's trying to get into the game, but it really forces you to go back to play the older ones first. And, you know, it definitely tries to bring you down and tell you to like, hey, try out these ones, get used to the handling first, and then come back to play 4. I mean, that's just how I feel.
I think you're absolutely right. I don't think it should be discredited in reviews because of the difficulty. Now, whenever I'm playing it, I think in my head, how can Quavo beat this game? Then I realize probably not playing the game, but he's in all their marketing material. Which I just wanted to make a comment on that because that is absolutely ridiculous. They have Quavo from Migos as one of the main spokespeople for Crash Bandicoot 4 and the Crash Bandicoot franchise in general. Quavo. That's all I think of whenever I was asking my girlfriend the names of the people, and I'm like, there's Quavo, there's I said Launchpad because one of them, I guess, is named Takeoff, right? I'm just like, so. There's no way. Like he might have grown up with Crash Bandicoot. There's no way that like anybody who does not care enough to beat this game is going to beat this game. That's the only thing that I see as a potential issue with it because of the difficulty. I mean, right out the gate, it's hard. On the second level, whenever the platforms, like whenever you're waking up the first mask, and the platforms are switching back and forth. I don't know how many times I died on that, but it was like way too many.
No, but you're bad at video games.
I felt. Oh, sorry, God.
No, I think in my opinion, like, I actually got to witness people who bought the game and like don't have them. Like, so like Frank, my brother bought it, and my mom like immediately saw it and was like, "No, I'm not even trying it. Like, absolutely not." Frank, who is not the greatest at video games, only because he casually plays. It's not like he sits down and he plays it every day. But like he played the like 1, 2, and 3 growing up. He bought this game and he played it, and I thought immediately, I'm like, he's not gonna like this. This is super like it is. I mean, the difficulty's times 20 compared to the older games, which I personally like. But he actually enjoys it, and like Josh said, it makes you learn from like if you die, like you can just scan it right before you die and go, oh my god, I should have did that. Or like the game will actually show you like just by you dying, like you know, you just learn. You have to keep practicing. And my dad plays it, and he's you know, like, so like the game is appealing. I think both like gameplay wise and visually enough, like that people are going to keep going back to it. But I think the point I was going to make is the game is manageable up until where the point Josh is at, a little past halfway, and once you get past that next world, I mean the difficulty is so like I played on retro for most of the game, and I had 99 lives up until right past where Josh is at, and the futuristic world, I lost all 99 lives, and I had to switch to modern. It was that hard.
Yeah, you can tell whenever it comes down to like definitely whenever you first entered the whole entire like the bayou sort of swamp world, whenever you first did the Mardi Gras world, you can tell that like they're cranking up a different like notch where they're like, okay, we're going to implement 2 different masks on just this one level, and like it just slowly built you into it. And the fact that you could switch between like enemies and platforms and stuff like that, and like it definitely makes your mind think a little bit more than just a typical platformer, which I do appreciate too. It is very basic stuff, though. And again, I haven't been halfway through it, but so far, halfway through the game, it's all simplistic stuff. Like Steven said, it's definitely one of those things where you can go into it, and it's so simplistic that you can learn from just doing it over and over again. It's all basic things. It's just doing it right. That is it.
Well, that's exactly it. Like that's why I think like even like when you get towards the end of the game, the difficulty is fair and I'm only saying that because they do it in such a good way where it gradually gets harder. Like it's not like they just throw you into it. Like each first level again in every world is kind of like the easiest, you know what I mean? Like like they don't start you off with your ass getting beat, but like as you get further into that world, it does get harder. And the further you get into the game, it does get harder. But I think it's fair because like everything is simple. But Crash is very known for like precision. Like if you don't do it exactly right, you're gonna fail. But like
I mean, it is the Dark Souls of platformers.
but like
overdone joke is overdone.
like literally, like the more you try, like you'll eventually get it. You might die 30 times trying to solve a puzzle with Nitro or something, but like you'll eventually get it. And like
are there puzzles in this game?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I know.
Oh yeah, it's like full puzzles.
Dude. Crash charted.
But I whenever I was playing the game, I never was like throw the controller because it never felt unfair, like you guys said. Like I was like, okay, I messed up. Like it happened. Like, okay, just do better next time. Get like 3 steps further next time, and then die again. But then the next time, I'll keep on going and going and going, and that's how I eventually beat the game. That being said,
I think games with difficulties like that are some of the better ones, in my opinion. Like, I guess an example I can give is Celeste. Is difficult game, but it never feels like it's unfair. And so I think games like that always kind of, because like I'm gonna be real, I'm not the best video game player. I'm not the best gamer, but like I don't want to be beaten down by a game to which I just want to like rage quit. I like whenever like I would like if a game's difficult, but at the same time, I want it to feel possible.
Yeah, and if anybody like you guys can feel free to argue this, but I think the one thing that Toys for Bob, like I think the reason this game feels like like an authentic sequel for the original trilogy is that Crash is very rhythmic. Like its platforming is like a pattern. So like once you get that pattern down, like the gameplay is super smooth. But like even though like something might be hard and you might die like 100 times, like it feels so good to pull it off. Like once you do it, and you're like, wow, holy hell, I just did that. And
Mom, get the camera.
They did such a good job capturing that. And like I think this is why this is why it was a better sequel, is because like it's not the same game by any means. Like this is so different from any other Crash game, but this still felt like like it still felt like authentic. Like if Crash was modernized, like this is exactly what it would be like.
That's what I've been hearing is it feels like a true step forward versus So one thing I feel like the Crash franchise as a whole kind of went through is innovation for the sake of innovation. With like like Twin Sanity was fun. I really love Twin Sanity, but like, you know, the Dark Ages, which are like, you know, Crash of Titans and Mind Over Mutant, like they tried to make something different, and they just lost their roots.
I guess instead of saying innovation for innovation's sake, that's more so like change for change's sake.
Yeah, true.
Because
Trying to
if you
stay
go,
modern.
yeah, because if you go through 1, 2, and 3, like they build on each other perfectly. You know, 1 is like kind of clunky, kind of slow, and then 2's like, you know, very precise, very like precision platforming, and then 3, yeah, and then 3 kind of perfects that and ups the graphics.
Mm-hmm.
Then, you know, 4 is like perfecting that, upping the graphics, adding in that story element. Then, like, evil guy wants to destroy the world.
And I think what I like to, like, gameplay wise, like the reason I don't really care for 3, and I know everyone loves that one, but like I hated getting all the power ups each, like every time you beat a boss, you get a new power up, because then it was just like, in my opinion, I don't want to say gimmicky, but like it was just like there was so much that you had to do. I like the fact that like in this game you get powers, but it's based off the masks, and it's only different, like certain segments of the level to help you get past it. But then like a lot of the platforming and a lot of the simple stuff you have to do like is just the basic like Crash 2 platforming. And I was like super excited to see that, because like it's not like you had to switch between masks to know what you had to do. They just gave you what power you needed, and then you got past it and you're, you know, on your way.
Yeah, and it makes you think, because you're like, you can see that mask floating from, you know, a little bit ahead, or like it'll be a little bit ahead of you. So if you see the one that slows down time, which, Josh, have you gotten to that point yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, so that's in the
about to play that level actually.
Yeah, that's in the next 1 or 2 levels for you.
Yeah.
But you'll see things, and you'll see that mask go ahead, and you're like, "Oh, okay, what do I have to do here?" And that's kind of where that puzzle element comes in. The best mask, in my opinion, is the one that just lets you basically murder everything.
Oh, Akana, yeah.
Like you can fly pretty much by just spinning. Josh, you've definitely got to that point, correct?
Yeah. My opinion on him though is I feel like he's a good one, but definitely I feel like he kind of ruins the whole entire platform precision thing, because he is a little difficult to control, and it's not like over time you can learn how to use him better. It's just kind of like luck. Make sure you don't do this time, and make sure you hit triangle, and it feels less precision, more basic luck.
It feels like brute force sometimes with that one.
Yeah.
They're all like so what I will tell you, it's a bit of a spoiler, you don't play as him very much throughout the entire rest of the game. That being said, the one mask that is used probably the most, if I had to guess, is, and Steven, you're good with the names, the one that switches the dimensions of the
Lani Lowy.
Yeah.
Yes. That one is the one that you use the most out of the entire game.
Which I feel that like one. Good.
Oh, no, go ahead. I was gonna say that one is just like, kind of more so like you jump, you hit the button, it makes a platform appear, you jump, you hit the button, it disappears, and another one appears, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, which I feel like was a good welcome to this series. And again, this is all the personal opinion. I feel like he made a good difference to the level. It made you think, instead of just like, oh, here's another moving platform, jump on it. Oh, here we go. You got to slide underneath this platform. It's kind of like now you have to remember, like, oh, this platform disappears whenever I have to jump at this, and there's a wall that has to disappear too. So now I'm going to have to like press triangle twice real fast, trying to make sure that, I land on this platform after I hit like past the wall. And it just, I don't know. I feel like it's a nice welcome to like change of pace.
Here's a tip, Dylan's first pro gamer tip of the podcast. Use the trigger. Do it.
Nah.
Nah. You see, I use the trigger too for Akana, because, and like you'll get to this point, Josh, like later in the game, but it does make you use a condo differently, and it actually, like, when I go back and play the other levels, it helps me. So like if you like use him, like if you press that button just to stop him dead in his tracks, it helps you do precision jumping, because it makes you like jump across the gap and you have to land on TNT crates and then continue on. So like if you like drop the press the button and drop down, when you do your first jump, when you launch up, you can actually launch in the air just by jumping. Like you don't have to press it then jump, and then you still have another jump like for your double jump to continue on.
Yeah.
So it makes you use him differently, and it actually like helps me out. And I'm like, damn, why didn't I do this to begin with?
Yeah, it took a couple tries for me to understand how he actually works, and honestly, which might bring into the next segment, is the shadow, like little highlight thing, the little ring around the shadow.
Oh my god,
that actually helped me out so much on those segments too, especially whenever you go back and try to play the Tana level, especially going to the Japanese Zen Garden thing. That helped me out so much with the TNT platforms, because I literally that's the level I died a lot on, because I couldn't, like, the TNT was just annoying, and then I realized that I can literally just hover over it and then see the shadow and then be like, oh, triangle just drop down, don't worry about it.
I love that so much.
I think that's one of the best innovations or best updates that they put in the game. And Jared, if you don't know what we're talking about, whenever Crash is in the air, they now put a little yellow circle where he's going to land on the ground.
Oh, that's actually good.
So you can, so instead of guessing by the shadow, which I mean, with the Insane Trilogy, we've all played it, you see the shadows are obviously better, but if you only played, and I'm sure there are some people who only played 1, 2, and 3 on the PlayStation 1, shadows in that game are not great. So
non-good.
Non-good. I think that's a really great improvement in this game on the basis, like, it's just like that what Crash would make sense to have, like, in game, like meta gameplay wise. Yeah. Okay, this makes sense for the player to be able to see where Crash is going to land, especially in 4K, where there's so much stuff going on in each level. Josh, did you get a chance to see the dino levels?
No, not yet.
All right, so there's dinosaur levels, and I'm not going to tell you where they are, just to not spoil it. But there's so much stuff going on in the background of those levels that, like, I died just by not looking at where I was going.
Yeah, no, definitely.
There's so much.
With again, one of my personal favorite levels was the Mardi Gras level. Whenever we first come to the bayou, it is so colorful. What? Yeah, there's a Mardi Gras level. It's not actually like, oh, here's boobies and stuff like that.
I was gonna say,
Mardi Gras Tuesday.
Is that Coco?
It is called Offbeat.
Yeah.
And Jay, I'll send you a link in the general chat. But it is. I think whenever I was playing it, I texted Steven. I'm like, this is my favorite level in any Crash Bandicoot game. Period.
Yeah, I completely agree.
It has so much character, so much depth, so much color, so much different platforming skills. Like everything, I feel like that's like the magnum opus of I don't want to say magnum opus of any Crash game, but it really feels like it, because it takes all the elements of it and just mashes it into one solid level that makes sense, and it doesn't feel overdone, overblown. It's so clean. It's so, it's fun, and I died a lot on it too. But I had so much fun playing it that I didn't care. I enjoyed playing it, and every step was just so much better.
I mean, and come on, like whenever like you're on the rail at the end, and like the music picks up, and there's oh my god,
that was so much fun.
All the little cameos in the background of like the parade floats. You got like Spyro, a Raptor from Imaginator or whatever it is, Skylanders. You have
Skylanders,
Hera in the CTR cart. You have a fake Crash. Like, it's insane. It's so it's so bright and vibrant. And then like have you guys seen the?
Looks amazing.
Have you guys seen the inverted mode of it?
I don't want to. That would make me want to throw up.
It looks
like an old, it's like 50s TV.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I want to go back and play it now.
Okay, so what is inverted?
It is the same level mirror mode, but it has like a different art aesthetic.
Yeah, so like So like my favorite so far, like if you're like in like the pirate area, so the whole entire level is like there's wiped of color. There's absolutely no.
Looks like a coloring book page.
Yeah, and it's like it's completely blank. But when you spin, ink comes off of your body, and it actually paints where you walk, and like it repaints the level and everything. It's unbelievable.
So Crash X Splatoon.
Kinda.
Crash Cortex Splatfest incoming.
But every level is completely different. Like if you go back to the post-apocalyptic one, like that one is all like cell shaded, sort of like. And again, that was another one. Hit the Road was another one of those levels that I played over and over again, and I finally got that skin. It was so much fun.
Like I think that was the first level I played where I got goosebumps. Like whenever he got in that ball and was running towards the screen.
Yeah,
I'm like, what is going on right now? This is a Crash game. This is like so there's so much going on.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
I should probably just play this game.
Just play it.
Like you're getting chased by this giant like truck.
Wait,
with flames coming out of it, and there's barbed wire everywhere, and like you jump at this ball, and the ball like lets you like hit the barbed wire without dying and stuff. Oh my god!
So he's playing in. Or he's in a ball. Are you sure this just isn't Wrath of Cortex?
Well, yeah, that was like an Easter egg for Wrath of Cortex. You jump in the ball and like, it makes you go faster and stuff. It was actually, oh my god, that was like the first level I played where I got goosebumps. I'm like, wow, there's a lot going on right now. I don't know what to do.
Yeah,
like this is like, this is what Wrath of Cortex wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
You know? And then the way that they went back to the retro, or not even retro, I guess, but the Crash 1, instead of having the warp rooms, you travel like between the islands. But realistically, the islands are you kind of rail grind through the dimensions to a different dimension. And then like the way that the story all kind of ties together, how Crash and Coco are dead in Anna's dimension. Wow. And that's not a spoiler. Well, it's not a spoiler.
It's not a spoiler. You find out like third level of the game.
It's pretty early in the game.
Yeah,
and like, I think the best character design in the entire game is Coco. Everybody,
I don't know. I like
Tana's badass. In my opinion.
But the thing is, whenever I think of Tana, I think of that character now, which says a lot because I had 25 almost years of boob Tana. Now I have big butt Tana, but that is a complete redesign of. It's not even the same character, realistically. It's a complete redesign.
Yeah, but
whenever I see, go ahead.
They just kind of like changed the whole entire like eye candy for furries, sort of, and then made it actual like something that like it has a depth to it. And again, besides eye candy for furries, it's literally just supposed to be a character now, not just something with boobs and butt.
Yeah,
eye candy for furries.
Oh, whenever I think of that almost like as a separate character, right? That. Redesign. But whenever I think of Crash and Coco, I think of them as like still the same characters from 1, 2, and 3, and I guess Wrath of Cortex and everything that line. But I think the redesign, like Crash, like I think me and Steven have discussed on the podcast before, it like looks like the logical next step from 3 to what he would look like. That doesn't look like open gaping mouth idiot from Wrath of Cortex. But I think Coco, like, even between 2 and 3, because she was introduced in 2, and then in 3, not much changed. And then Wrath of Cortex, they're like, oh, let's give her a scooter.
Yo, she rad.
Do you even scoot?
Scoot. Anyway,
but I think that was just like the best overall character, like reimagination. I guess would be the word. But that's just my opinion.
Josh, I think you got this trophy. I think I saw you got it, but I think it's an offbeat again. But like whenever you spin that dumpster and there's a cat in there,
yeah, I got that one. I was because I just saw it move and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to do it because I know they have hidden I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm going to do it. And I spun and I was like, oh, there we go, trophy. And I'm like, that's cool. They have a whole bunch of hidden stuff in all the levels, which, I mean, Steven told me to go back to hit the road and spin on the garbage can. And I'm like, okay.
We accidentally figured that out on launch day, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't lucky enough to do that, but definitely you there's so many different little hidden things in every single level. I mean, even the first level right off the bat, there's a whole bunch of like different ones. Like you could spin into the TV and change the channel, and you flip through all the first 3 games, and it's like that's really entertaining to me because I'm 5 years old and think it's cool. But definitely, like all the hidden Easter eggs and everything like they have in this game too is just phenomenal, and definitely did a lot of fan service with it too. So
it makes this is like the perfect tie up or wrap up to the Naughty Dog games.
Yeah,
I guess would be the best way to put it. Because if they try to do something different, and it was like so different that we were like, oh, okay, I guess. Like I think, and I don't know about you guys, I know Steven at least. I've played every single Crash game and beat every single Crash game except for I think Boom Bang on the DS, which was like a party game.
Weak.
I've played every other one, and 1, 2, and 3 felt consistent.
Have you played Crash Purple?
Yes, I have played Crash Purple and beat Crash Purple. But and then you go on to Wrath of Cortex and you're like, okay, it's just 3 with better graphics. And then you go to this and you're like, holy crap, this is what 4 should be.
Yeah, which I mean, I don't want to bring this up prematurely, but that's what I'm kind of afraid of is that since Activision still holds the title for Crash, I'm kind of afraid them trying to obviously use it to make more money. And I'm genuinely terrified of, because this would be a perfect send-off, and I don't want to say I don't want to ever see another Crash, but I feel like it would be a perfect send-off for the Naughty Dog, to end it right there. Because I mean, I don't know how you can improve upon this without actually making the fan base upset.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go in multiple different directions, but I feel like they'll add too much to the point where they're going to lose sight, in which that's what you had, with Mind Over Mutant, Clash of the Titans, and all that stuff. It's going to lose its purpose, its soul of what it actually originally was. I feel like this is a perfect balance of something new and also old that works very well together.
Yeah, to me, it feels like, and I 100% agree with that sentiment. Like, whenever I played Mind Over Mutant, I'm 25 now. That game came out, Steven, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
8?
Yeah, 12.
12.
Oh, jeez. So I would have been 13 whenever I played that. That felt like some random game, and somebody was like, have you seen the sketch on Portlandia, slap or put a bird on it?
Put a Crash on it.
Yeah, it just is like slap a Crash on it and it's a Crash game. And that's what it felt like. This is like if it didn't have Crash in it, if you stripped away all the bosses, you stripped away all the characters, you stripped away everything, I don't know what kind of game this would be.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's
a Crash game.
It's the Doki Doki Panic Mario 2 type thing. Like it's not a Crash game.
Well, yeah, I do agree. And like to go off what Josh was saying, I think that Activision in a sense has learned just from like actually listening to the fan base of like what to put in a Crash game, what to not put in a Crash game. So like I was listening to like an interview like with Toys for Bob, and they were watching like a speed run of Crash, like of the demo. The one guy said that the game has been in development for almost 5 years, which is it baffles me because that is like a year after the Insane Trilogy came out.
Not even. That's
what?
before the
not even.
I was like, there's no way the Insane Trilogy's been out for 6 years.
Yeah, sorry about that, but it feels like forever, but like that's what like it like blows my mind that like this game has been in development for so long. But from this point on, I want Toys for Bob and Beanox to make like the next entry if there is one.
Without a doubt.
I feel like that because I mean I like the Insane trilogy, but obviously Vicarious Visions have made Tony Hawk 2, and that was a remake. I don't know if that's just what they're doing. I mean that's cool, you know, if that's what it is, but like it's just like the level design in this game like baffle me. Like I haven't played a level where I wasn't like, oh my god, like this is like really like unique, like or this is cool. I've never seen like a platformer have like such unique, like I don't even know how to like to put it to words, but like for like Offbeat like threw me off. Like I didn't expect anything like that was coming up in that level. And there's levels that are coming up too that I don't want to spoil for Josh, but like even like they have like remixes of the old music that just pop in at random points and it changes, and I'm like whoa, and then from there at that point on like the level changes and it's like kind of retro-y. I can't really say too much for that, like spoiling that surprise for Josh, but like I got that same feeling whenever you know, like on Mario Odyssey, like whenever you're running up that, like I forget, like whenever they play that song and you're running up that building and there's like all the fireworks.
It's the festival part. Yeah, it's my favorite part of the game.
There's about 3 or 4 times in this game where they have callbacks, like where they have callbacks to the old game, and then it just like feels so well done. And I think that this is going to be the end of like once you play the game, it is the kind of like the end of the Naughty Dog era.
But Crash die?
Yes, but
Crash gets decapitated at the end.
Yeah, he's just dead.
Like he's dead there.
But well, the real question is, how can you decapitate something without a neck?
Yeah, you're right.
That's true. He would split.
He just like cuts off his torso and like technically that's decapitation. I don't know.
Straight up holds them among us. Just have a solid bone sticking out.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think it's like going to be like another at least 3-4 years before we even see another Crash entry.
I mean,
I think this field. I mean, this at least has about 60 hours of content in it, and
minimum.
Yeah,
Definitely minimum.
I've seen a lot of people
crazy.
having about 85 hours, like getting 106%.
Yeah, I mean, that's without, you know, obviously the people who do that in 85 hours are the skilled ones, but definitely there's a lot of content in this. A lot.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And I was going to say, like, and I'm completely fine with waiting for however long I need to. This like really scratch an itch that I've been waiting for it. Cause like the Insane Trilogy, like I liked it and I played hours of it and I played hours of CTR, but like, you know, like that was just more of what I've already played, you know, like in a better way. And it like sales even show like people are more than willing to buy it, but like, you know, like the player base just falls off so fast. And like on this one, I think it was just yesterday I saw PlayStation released. It was no. It was Games Radar released that over 300,000 people were clocked in playing this game online. So like, so any console that was connected to the internet playing this game, or at least had like turned it on once, it was about 300,000. So it's like that's insane.
Beat out Star Wars. The new Star Wars game.
There's no Star Wars game? What?
Yeah, Squadrons.
Yeah.
Just not have to get up on my speed, I guess.
So with Crash, I think we can all, even if we haven't played it, Jarrett, if we're halfway through it, Josh, if me and Steven, we beat it, we can all and Jarrett, and correct me if I'm wrong, we can all pretty much say we give this like a 2 thumbs up.
Definitely.
I mean, everything I've heard, it's like it makes me want to play it.
That's a good review.
But real quick before we go on, how about the cinematics though?
Oh my god! Yeah,
It's like a Saturday morning cartoon. Like I love
It
it.
really is. See, and that's
It's-
what. Okay.
oh no, it's just so good. And then like there's 3 different endings to the game.
What?
Like yeah. So you got the completion ending, you got the 100% ending, and then you got the 106% ending.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If you really count
Okay.
4 and if you count 4 endings, because they have the Cortex timeline at the end as well. It's just
I thought you
absurd.
were gonna say there's like a good ending and a bad ending. I'm like, oh no.
No.
No, I kind of had the 106% ending ruined for me by accident, and this isn't.
Same.
It's not the last Crash game.
It's not.
Did the birds from Twin Sanity come back?
They are in the game, but no.
Oh my god. Does
They're an
Wally-
Easter egg.
Yeah,
Does
it's like a small cameo.
does Otto von Clutch come back?
No, absolutely not.
Darn.
Because he's actually, I guess the birds are post 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. So
so if
don't
if
give
you
me
can-
that logic that.
if you consider CTR 3.5,
Mm-hmm.
like that stepping stone between the two, there's a character in CTR in this game that wouldn't have been in any other Crash game. Obviously entropy. There is
So
engine.
is Oxide in this game? Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay.
Sorry, Josh.
Yeah. Sorry,
That's
my bad.
That's what I was trying to get at.
Not gonna lie, I wasn't paying attention, so you guys are good.
Cool.
So
I'm like down.
So you play. So within the first, I would say, 45 minutes of the game, you not only play as Crash with new abilities or better abilities and more precise platforming, you get to play as Tawna. You beat probably one of the coolest boss fights in any Crash game. I would say it's probably one of my favorite boss fights in the entire game is the engine boss fight.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, it's
I was just about to bring that up too.
which is a
it-
callback to Guitar Hero, which I freaking love.
What?
That was awesome.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, so
don't knock it until you try it. It's really, really good.
Yeah, it's all the boss fights in this game are like memorable, honestly. But
yeah, Jarrett. So what it is you fight Engine, but Engine's in this giant mech, right? Per usual.
Crazy. Yeah.
But the way that you defeat him is you fight him, and he's like drumming at a concert. You're avoiding like the sonic blast that his drums are giving off.
That's cool.
but it's set up like a Guitar Hero neck, so like they come down like Guitar Hero, like like how the different colored buttons come down.
Mhm.
That's what it's like, and you have to jump over those in a certain pattern.
Yeah, it genuinely felt like, which I know I'm probably not going to connect with anybody here, but like you're fighting Mouthpiece in Borderlands 3. It was like, it felt really like, it felt good. It felt like I was, again, you're playing a modern Crash game. It's what you would expect. And like, this is another great level design where this boss battle like was a great introduction to being like the first boss being, Engine. It was fun.
Yeah, and so the cool thing about it is there's only 4 bosses, right? So you have Engine, you have Embryo.
Don't forget Luis.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Like it's like a mid boss, which is not very Crash Bandicoot, but it's very cool. So you have 5 bosses, right? And you have 6 boss battles, and that's all I'll say about that. But other than Luis, they're all bosses you fought in 1, 2, and 3, and it blows my mind. And all the music tracks, for the most part, are remixes of the original tracks, like, or they at least have some like homages in them. Like whenever you fight one of the bosses, like it's his music kind of updated to the 2020 standard from like the 1996 standard.
And Josh, I don't know if you noticed this, Booty Calls, that was like the first pirate level.
Yeah.
the music was actually like a pirate version of Insanity Beach.
I didn't even notice that. I'm gonna have to go back and play it again. I mean, I need to get the gems from that one anyway. So
it's the original Crash theme, but it's all played with like cellos and stuff. It's pretty cool.
I'm completely down with that.
So how many? And Steven, you're better at this stuff than I am. How many gems are there?
226, I think.
Yeah, and you get basically 12 from each level. And then on top of that, you have colored gems. And each level, I love the way they set up the gems. Honestly, if you get X amount of Wampa fruit, you get a gem. If you get more Wampa fruit, you get another gem. If you get the 80% of the Wampa fruit in the level, you get 3 gems.
Oh, I was way off. It was 456, but go on.
Okay.
Close.
If you die less than 3 times, you get a gem. If you find the hidden gem, you get a gem. If you get all the boxes, you get a gem. And then you have that same thing for the inverted. So you have I think it's 20 or 40, 60, 80% died less than 3 times, hidden gem, and then all the boxes. And I'm just like, this game has like insane amounts of replay value. If you're beating this game in 85 hours, you're like a savant. I've been playing Crash Bandicoot since I was 4 years old, and there is no way in hell I am beating this game in less than 140 hours.
Yeah, no, definitely. And with all you, okay, without the stuttering there, but definitely with all the gems that you're able to get and how easy some of them are, like just collecting Wampa fruit. I mean, that's what everybody does. You know, you play a Crash game, you're going to collect fruit. That's what's just going to happen. But definitely, you know, it rewards you for collecting it. It gives you more of an incentive besides just lives, which, you know, obviously you don't get that until, you know, you switch it over to retro mode. But it definitely gives you a reason to actually collect them, break every box, you know, actually jump on the crates and like the multiple Wampa fruit crates instead of just spinning and breaking them just to get them out of the way. It gives you a reason to do it, which, you know, me playing the first level, you know, and then just going through it like real quick and being like, oh, wow, I got 4 gems out of, you know, 6. That makes me feel good. And then you just keep on going and like it makes you feel like you're doing something. And you're not just, you know, getting through a level, completing it, going to the next one, going through it. It rewards you for actually doing something to the level.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, not only do you get that percentage booster, you get the aesthetic booster for getting the gems.
Definitely.
The first level, whenever I played it, and it said I got 4 out of 6 gems or whatever, because I forgot to get 1 box or something, you know. And I definitely died more than 3 times, or I didn't find the hidden gem or whatever. Then they show on the little bottom right hand screen Crash Bandicoot dressed up as a effing chicken.
Mother clucker.
Like, I mean, yeah, mother clucker.
Yeah. And then the second one is called Big Horn Energy.
Big Horn.
It's Coco dressed as a unicorn. And I'm like, oh my god.
Or,
I don't know how many times I'm gonna have to play this.
My favorite is the pirate one for Crash. It's called Booty Seeker.
Yeah. But the one that you get from Hit the Road, which is by far my favorite. I don't even know what it's called, but it's like the 80s like neon thing where he's also looks like he's wearing a Nintendo Power Glove, which is hilarious to me, and I love that skin. That's what I'm currently using. But
did you see like the costumes actually go into the cutscenes too?
Yeah.
That's my favorite costume in the entire game is in the prehistoric realm. There is a balloon animal Crash Bandicoot and a balloon animal
get out of
Coco.
here. I'm going to get those.
Favorites. Every time I think about it, I laugh. Yeah, whenever they're like as dinosaurs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Man, these skins are so well done too. Like it actually makes me want to work for them. Like they're funny and they're like charming and they're exactly what you expect from this game. Like they're phenomenal too.
There's like a snow one too, like where he's like all bundled up like the kid from the Christmas Story.
He has a little beanie on with a little puffball on the top of it,
and he has like mittens on and stuff.
Put your arms down when you get to school.
But otherwise, does anybody kind of have any closing thoughts on Crash? I'm sure we all have a lot of thoughts on Crash.
I mean, overall, like I said at the beginning, I genuinely have not been this excited for a new video game, and I haven't felt like a kid like this in a long time for any sort of game. And whenever I popped it in there and started playing it, just like it really did a great job of like bringing me back to the Naughty Dog original ones, like sitting there playing and literally losing my teeth. Like whenever I was a kid, I was sitting there playing the first one, and I had a loose tooth and it popped right out, and I'm like, oh well, and I kept on playing like that. It brought me back to back.
And then I'm sitting here as an adult, and they're just like, oh, I have a loose tooth.
I have a loose tooth. Might as well knock it out.
I think. And I'm very open about it. I am so happy that this game exists.
Yeah.
Just like with, I don't want to get dark or anything like that, but like with us in the middle of a pandemic, with the election year, all that garbage that goes on outside of our living rooms. At least we have a new Crash Bandicoot game in 2020 that is like, oh my god!
And I'm like super excited too, because like I want to invite people over to play it because it's 4-player, and that is such a good game to pass the controller and have a beer. Like,
the pass the play thing. Okay, I forgot about that feature too. I'm going to let you go ahead.
well, there's two different ones. You can play the story with your friend.
Mm-hmm.
So like you can do you can do death by death, or you can do checkpoint by checkpoint.
Yeah, you can do both, I think. Even.
Or you can do Bandicoot Battle, which is up to 4-player.
Yeah,
and it's a race to each checkpoint. And
it's like the perfect Nerdologist game.
Yeah,
it's like
we're gonna do it.
Like,
yeah,
we're gonna have to do it.
Oh boy!
But what are your thoughts about what you've heard? What does it make you feel?
I mean, it makes me want to play the game. I mean, like Dylan texted me like not long after I think he beat it, saying he's like, "Okay, here's now my new list of favorite Crash games," and this game was at the top. I'm like, "Okay, this is just recency bias," and he's like, "No, it's that good."
I feel the same.
Yeah.
So,
like, if I had to rank it, I'm trying to find my Crash. Steven, I want to get your thoughts on it. But I think after we kind of give our closing thoughts, I think we can pretty much all agree on a list of the hierarchy of Crash Bandicoot games. I think this is at the top for everybody.
Yeah.
I can agree.
No comment. Just play
it. Leave right now.
Get out of here.
But yeah, no, definitely, it's one of the better ones. Better ones. It's one of the best. But I don't want to say probably by far. I don't know. It's for me. It's pretty much as perfect as you can get. I can't knock it at all.
Yeah, I mean, like 2 is my favorite for like the longest time. I mean, see, for me, I think this is my favorite. This is my favorite Crash game. But I think I have such like a history with Crash 2 that's probably my favorite game ever made. But this is by far the best Crash game.
Absolutely. It makes the most sense in all realms. I don't think there's anything that this game doesn't cover that a Crash game should cover.
But on a separate note here, is anybody else excited for any other games coming out this year?
Ooh, no.
What games?
Hyrule or not Hyrule Warriors?
Yeah, I said that's the only game I'm waiting for this year is probably Hyrule Warriors.
Hyrule Warriors looks really good. I need to find a list. Let me actually look up a list of games coming out for the rest of the year.
Crap. In a couple of weeks, Miles Morales comes out.
Oh, don't even get me started. Oh, I okay. Yeah, that's definitely up there for me. Don't even.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
Oh, any Spider-Man, anything related to Spider-Man, really, this is my for tonight. I'm sorry for swearing.
No.
Beep.
There we go. I did it. I did it. Dang.
So the game that I am most looking forward to, and God knows when it's actually going to come out, is Sports Story, the sequel to Golf Story. It said, I love the reaction. It was supposed to come out like mid 2020, and then it's just like, hey, yeah, the world. So, they put together such like a cute like in-game like explanation for why it doesn't come out. Like, oh, we're just practicing more, and and then they're like, no, we just want the game to be as good as it can. Right now, we're just taking our time, and it's just a good game. For the Golf Story, it's just such a good game. If you never play Golf Story, play Golf Story. Charming.
Cyberpunk is another one that I'm really excited for.
That's a game that was supposed to come out in like April, I thought.
Yeah, also by the same company who said that they'll never do crunch time, but then they loopholed crunch time.
I was excited for that game, but I'm kind of not in a hurry to get it, only because like right now I'm just kind of super into games that I can pick up and put down, and like not really invest like so much like thought into it, and like I've been playing the shit out of Crash, but like I can literally put it down and come back to it at any point and then not feel like I'm like behind in anything.
Yeah.
Like there's like I don't have to put a lot of time into that to progress, but it looks fantastic though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I completely agree with that one. I don't know. I mean, everything else, like there's Watchdog Legions. I mean, I'm not really excited for that. That's kind of
here
or there. I mean, really ending out the year, there's really nothing there that really excites me.
No.
I'll tell you what I'm excited about. You ready for this? And everybody forgot about this, and I just remembered. About a game. Mandalorian Season 2
No.
comes out October 31st.
Really?
Yeah, that's yeah.
Wow.
I watched Mandalorian when you watch Hamilton.
No, the Mandalorian's phenomenal.
Yes, that's a great.
That's not a very fair trade-off. You get a lot out of the Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian's so good.
Hamilton, I get the guy from Moana rapping.
Yeah.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
Yes.
I wish.
Dude, oh my god. Please.
You know what the ham he's cooking?
How much do you think we have to pay Dwayne to star in Hamilton?
Probably
Alexander The Rock Hamilton.
Alexander The Rock Hamilton. Perfect.
Alexander The Rock Hamilton.
Has anybody else been playing anything else?
By Aaron Burr.
I've been playing The Last of Us 2. I got through a segment where you go into a subway station where people are chasing you down there, and there's a whole bunch of clickers down there, and it stressed me out to leagues of unknown.
Is that
proportion?
Is that the one where everything's red?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It stressed me out to like I didn't even think I could get stressed out that much. I hate subways. Like in any game, whenever you get positioned in a subway station where you cannot leave, it stresses me out. And I played that section, and I was like, I'm done. I finished the cutscene. I went all the way through it. I was so emotionally torn at the end of it, and I'm just like, I need to put this down and like give myself like a week break. And it's been 2 weeks.
See, Josh, that's exactly that. You're exactly at the point where I gave up, because like I've never been so emotionally torn apart playing a video game.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I mean, I play games just to sit down, blow off steam from the day, like relax. Oh, yeah. I felt so stressed out every time I played that game. Like, everybody else has like a different opinion, and I 100% like people love this game. I get it. I tried to love this game so much because I loved the first one, and I walked away with such a bad taste in my mouth because I'm just like, I'm just going on a murderous rampage and killing people. There's no point to this at all.
Yeah, no, literally that. I mean, I don't mean to spoil the story, and I mean it's been out forever, but that's literally like the plot of the story. It's like you're just going and you're killing people. There I go again. You're killing people.
Okay. And I like looked up the ending, and I was like, wow, like
Yeah, it's very dissatisfying ending in my opinion.
yeah, I was just like, wow, the whole game is for nothing, like literally.
Yeah, I mean, I still want to play the ending, and I don't know what the ending is. And I've heard some people say it's like not that bad, and people aren't saying it. People are saying it's really not that bad. But then there's other people who are saying that it's awful and it's completely pointless and it's bad writing. I just want to play through it. Like I'm still intrigued to play it. Definitely.
I wouldn't call it bad writing. So
No, yeah, and that's the thing. Like this game is so beautifully written, and the gameplay is phenomenal. I mean, the combat is amazing,
Better than the first.
but it's so. I don't think it's executed in a way that you would expect a Naughty Dog game to be. Like this is very much so a movie.
Mhm.
Like The Last of Us had a great story, but you knew that was a video game.
no, dude, The Last one's still one of my favorite games.
Like Uncharted, even Uncharted, like it's very cinematic, but at the end of the day, you know you're playing a video game.
Yeah.
There's so many times like I can't watch movies or shows that make me stressed out because then I sit there and go, oh, don't do that. Oh, don't do that. You know,
Yeah.
now you're physically giving me a controller where I'm gonna go, okay, I'm not gonna do that because like this
Yeah,
is
it's like that's why it makes you do that.
It kind of felt like Heavy Rain 3.0.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I just want to say I completely get what you're talking about, Josh, because like the game is so intriguing, like it's beautiful and it makes you want to keep just playing because it's literally like a masterpiece. But then at the same time, it's just like I feel like they lost touch with what the franchise is. Like I feel like this could have been a whole nother IP, you know, with different characters, and it probably would have stood out a little bit more.
Yeah, it could have been in the same realm of The Last of Us, but I understand where they're coming from because definitely at the end of The Last of Us, they left you with such a hard cliffhanger. Which I mean, the ending of that kind of disappointed me too, but it was so well done, and I that. The first one is just again, like Jared said, like that is probably one of my favorite games of all time, just because of how the story was and how everything for the time being. It was a game that came out in 2013. It was revolutionary. So like it was absolutely mind-blowing to me, and even to this day still holds that standard. But yeah, definitely, like you're saying, it's stressful. I'm intrigued still, want to come back to it, but it's really stressful right now.
Yeah.
You know what other game to this day still holds to its standard?
The Lego Star Wars.
Oh wait,
yeah.
I got
yes.
I got this one. Burger King Pocket Bite Racer.
Oh, there we go.
How about Thinking?
How about Burger Time?
Here with that shit.
I would have to say Super Mario World.
Oh,
And that's the game that I've been playing. I know, Steven, you've been playing it a lot as well recently. How far have you gone on it? What's like your progression?
I haven't touched it.
And that's going to probably do it for this week's episode. And we're not doing it weekly anymore. We just kind of doing it when we want. But hey, that's how it goes. Does anybody have any closing thoughts?
I can give a personal thought.
Okay.
I'm scared for this. Actually, hold on.
Are you muting it?
No, I'm good.
Okay. I lost my train of thought.
Personal thought.
Yeah, no, I lost it.
You're getting engaged.
No.
Only one of us on the podcast are allowed to have a fiance. So once Steven gets married, then somebody else can get engaged.
Jarrett?
Dude, no, what?
Where's the ring, Jarrett?
Where is it, Jarrett?
Where's the ring for the girl I've been with for a week?
I know it's up your ass with your microphone.
All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Be safe, everybody.
Stop pressing the wrong buttons.
You
Press
have
all
to
the buttons.
disconnect it.
I'm trying.